a little sports, a little life.
Look at the size of that crow. He's huge.
A lot Saskatchewan. This is the Bunnyhug Podcast with Grant Dick and Jason Blank.
Well, we kind of disappeared a little bit.
We did.
But life's been really, really busy for both of us, but it's kind of nice to get back into the Bunnyhug Podcast. Of course, I'm Jason. This is Grant. And hey, look at this. Yeah, you can actually see us. We're on video now. Isn't this wild, Grant?
This is so strange. You know, I actually have to put like shirts on and pants on. And I'm not sure if I'm happy about it or sad about it. I don't know.
Well, I like it because, you know, I get to, you know, like the studio here is Saskatchewan. So I do the other podcast I do. The background doesn't really fit it, but it fits it great for the Bunnyhug Podcast. So riders, everything. The old shower curtain covers up the mess, which is perfect, and
Perfect.
It makes it look cool. So
Yes, I love it. Love it.
well,
I see that you're wearing. Do you want to show what you're wearing?
oh
right now,
yes,
too,
for
because it's the
sure.
Bunnyhug?
So I've got my Vico Bunnyhug on. So we'll get into this story. So our friends at Prairie Print House, we talked about their Vico Bunnyhugs. Oh, what about 6-8 months ago? And we were chatting with them, and they were kind enough to send you and I a complimentary bunny hug. So I was so proud of it, and you were too. We both have pictures of it. And I shared the picture, and I had a guest come over to my house. And when I wasn't looking, they liked it more than I, and ended up stealing my Vico bunny hug. So this past weekend, I went back to the home country, went back to Saskatoon. I ended up in Saskatoon going to check out Jelly Roll. And I searched to see if Prairie Print House was open because I wanted to replace the bunny hug because this bunny hug is, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's how can you connect more with Saskatchewan than having a Vico bunny hug, right?
Well, I mean, that Saskatchewan in our family. Like, I mean, you know, mom being the milk lady for so many years. I don't know. We probably paid for the bunny hugs while my mom was delivering milk.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I stole a lot of Vico from my mom too. That's true. Maybe we didn't pay for it.
Exactly. So anyways, go there, and the Prairie Print House was closed, but they were doing a trade show downtown Saskatoon at TCE Place. So I'm like, well, we got to go and find it. So my girlfriend and I, we went down there, and she found the bunny hug in my size. So, you know, ponied up, bought it. And then I also stopped by the Rider store at Midtown Plaza and bought some more Rider stuff because I don't quite have enough. I needed something else.
Well, you always need a new hat, right?
Exactly. Always need something new. So yeah, camouflaged hat, Rider hat. And then I got to go see Jelly Roll. So hey, it was a perfect weekend in Saskatchewan, and now I'm back with my Prairie Print House Vico bunny hug. But you also have a story about your bunny hug too, because it was so popular at your house as well.
Yeah. So Keegan really, really liked it, and you know, told his mom, said, "Hey, you know what? I like that bunny hug." So I ordered one, and he got it for Christmas this year, as well. So yeah, he wears it more than I do actually, and he's pretty proud of it. You know what? I think it hides the shit stains very nicely.
It's perfect color. It is. It is a perfect color. So, no, a huge shout out to our friends at Prairie Print House again. These are cool. Go check them out because I was checking out. They've got some really, really cool Saskatchewan grain car bunny hugs that I noticed as well. I love they have the beep. They've got beep toques and beep t-shirts, and that's more Saskatchewan than almost the Vico.
If I was at home, I would actually show you. I bought the beep toque. I have the beep toque at home. I do.
Rock on.
I thought, well, if Keegan's gonna get a new bunny hug, I said I got to get myself a beep toque because they're beautiful. They're actually really nice and comfortable too.
Exactly, and they look really, really cool, and they're bright yellow. So I love it. I think it's awesome.
When I was snow blowing the driveway this year a few times, it really helped. I wasn't going to get run over by any cars.
I thought I saw you, from here.
Yeah. That yellow beacon that was just lighting up Saskatchewan. You could see me from Alberta.
So yeah, a huge shout out to our friends at Prairie Print House again. Really appreciate them, and for pure Saskatchewan clothing, check them out. They got lots of cool stuff. Lots of cool stuff.
Really cool.
Let's continue on. So our worlds have been busy. I've been busy in the hockey world. You've been busy in the work world, traveling all over the place. And how's the travel been? Because I know you end up going down south quite often to that place called United States, where you're actually coming to us from tonight. How's the travel been going across the border to the other land?
It's been a real challenge. Like they must look at the passport, and you know what? It's weird because everybody else on the plane must be mad at me for traveling with them because I've had 2 cancellations. I was supposed to fly the day that the plane turned over in Toronto, that plane crash. I was supposed to be in Toronto that day, but I got canceled. And then I think there's 2 things going on. They know that I'm going to get mad about it, but they don't want to kill me. So they don't put me on a plane that's going to crash, but they just want to make me delayed a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's 2 cancellations, that last one. This one was a really interesting one. So I got to Atlanta, and everything's going smooth, and I'm texting with Amber, and I'm saying, you know what? I'm going to get to Tampa on time this time. Well, somebody gets sick in the back of the plane. They got to get off. And when they get off, it happens that they found a mechanical issue on the plane. We had to get off the plane and get onto another plane. So I ended up being 6 hours late and getting to Tampa this time. And so I just can't win.
Can't win, man.
Everybody asks, do you blame it on Trump? Yes. I blame it on Trump.
Why not? I think we should blame everything on him right now. It's kind of interesting because when I was driving to Saskatoon, of course, I'm going through and you work big potash company, and there's potash all over Saskatoon, and us as Saskatchewanians see that fast 3 times. That's one of our proudest exports, and that's one of the biggest things that actually we send to the United States from Saskatchewan. And Mr. Trump does. I don't quite understand his thought process. Like, he's going to save Americans money by costing them more money.
Yeah, I don't think he really gets that fact, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's potash or oil or any of our natural resources that we have in Canada.
Yeah, like water.
And how, like how much we have. That's why he wants to redraw the border. Yeah. So it goes around the Great Lakes, right? So he's like, okay, now we've got the water.
Yeah.
You guys can come to us. So I think that's kind of what's going on in his head, is that he doesn't realize that. And I really believe that it's scare tactics. Whether it comes into play or not, that's kind of what it is. There's an interesting theory about this, and tell me if you think it's true.
Okay.
He's a billionaire, and his friends are billionaires. If he makes a comment such as this or does anything, the stock market starts to drop.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens then? They go and buy the stocks because they're low. And then the stock market goes back up. Yeah. If you make interest on $1 billion, well, you just made another $1 billion. Like,
exactly.
It's logical if you think about it that way, right?
Yeah. Well, and exactly, he's padding. That's what really kind of ticks me off about this, and it's kind of a little bit of a stray from what we normally talk about on our show. But But the one thing that I really don't understand is that the people that voted for him are the ones that need the help the most, right? Hardworking, the Republicans, they're the hardworking guys. And then there's the upper echelon, of course, in the Republican Party too, right? But the way he got in was he was making America great again. And I understand the whole turning and wanting to reinvest back into his own country. I don't deny that. And I think Canada, we should be doing that too. I think that's great. Manufacturing should be happening here, and we should be sustainable on our own, which is kind of a little side note that's really Canada's thinking about this now, which is good. But and I don't blame them for doing that. But the thing is that the America and the people of the United States are going to feel a lot of pain before they get to that point where they can manufacture everything themselves. And they still need the raw materials from Canada. There's no way that you can build all the houses you want to build in, let's say, Los Angeles to recover from those fires without lumber from Canada. Like,
the redwood trees that they have in California they can't use them for building houses. No. The lumber's too weak.
Yeah.
But this just triggered a thought again for me. And I know I mentioned it to you a while ago. I'm on the plane and we were about to land in Tampa. And what do I hear from the back of the plane? It's that, look, everybody, it's the ocean. And that's the adults talking to their kids. And to me, in my head, they said, this is why we can't call it the Gulf of America, because it's not the ocean. It's the Gulf of Mexico.
Exactly.
Right? So they got it wrong that it's the ocean, and they didn't even call it the Gulf of Mexico or Gulf of America.
Yeah, it's the ocean.
They didn't even know that. So I was like, this is why they can't be, right? Your education system might need to be reworked.
Well,
right?
and that's the other, that's another, and we're not, I'm not down talking, it's a generalization, of course, because we've got, I've got cousins that live down in Kansas, and we've got lots of friends down in the States, and, and we travel the States all the time and all that other stuff. I've got friends that live in the U.S., and they're smart people. I know they are, and they understand what we're talking about here. But the logic, and you and I are both logical thinkers, right? And the logic escapes me from what's all happening. Like, we've been like the best friend. It's like if you went to your best friend and said, yeah, you're my bestie, but I'm taking everything from you.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
That makes no sense.
Whatever you have is mine, but whatever I have is mine.
Exactly. Is that marriage? No, did I say that? I didn't say that. Did I say that? I just said that. Maybe I did. But so the patriotism, though, when you are traveling down there, have you been feeling that you've been wanting to wear the maple leaf a little bit more, G?
Yeah, and I was down here to watch the Four Nations Cup, and and that was, I had never wanted to win so bad.
I know,
in my
right?
life. And I talked to my buddy Colin, and he said the same thing. He's like, why? Like, why do I feel so intense that I need to win this game? It was just that. It was that, it just talked about being the 51st state, and all of these things were causing these emotions in us. And so, I want to wear nothing but red and white. Like I that's what I feel like when I'm here now. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and that's, you bring up the Four Nations. So let's go back to that, because we haven't chatted since then. Both you and I watched the Olympics when Canada was there, and the golden goal and all this other stuff. I felt that this one was bigger. Like, the golden goal was huge. There's no doubt about it, but this was bigger for me. And it shouldn't have been, but it was.
It was. It was the lack of not having the Olympics for a couple of go-arounds. Like, so we missed out on 2 Olympics, so we didn't have it. So the best on best, when you have Connor McDavid, right, and Sidney Crosby playing together, and we got to see Gretzky and Lemieux play together at the the Canada Cup and things like that. Yeah. That was great, but we had been missing it for so long that it just became a hunger that we needed, right?
Yeah. No, I agree. And the only time in my life that I will ever cheer for Connor McDavid, like, he is a superstar. There's no doubt about it, but I can't. I just can't, because he plays for that team up north.
Yeah.
But man, when they renamed the McDonald's McDavids, I wanted to go. I wanted to go. And I'd never want to go to Edmonton. Never. So, and so I was, the pride that I felt then made it even more because of all this 51st state talk and all that other stuff. And, what I love about this now too is Canadian patriotism has taken 3 notches up. Everybody seems to be more proud to be Canadian than we ever have been. And it kind of, I don't want to compare it to World Wars, because we weren't there, but it kind of feels like that's the kind of pride we're feeling right now is, this is our country. And we're so proud to be from Canada and Saskatchewan, by the way.
That's right.
Because we can say it. Like we can actually spell Saskatchewan. And if they threw that on Jeopardy, forget it. They can't do it. But
and I seen that you had posted something recently too, and it was that Canadian, mostly Canadian commercial, right?
It's the new version though. That's the new version though. That's the same guy that did it. But that's the new version, and it stirred up everything that the first one stirred up. It just got me just even more pumped, and I loved it.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. I forgot how it felt, and then I had to go back and watch
the original,
that old one.
Yeah,
I had to go back and watch the original, and the new one's great. One thing, because we're talking hockey too. What you need to do is make sure any young kids out there that didn't get to see, anything before the Four Nations Cup, that people like Sidney Crosby are not American, because they play for Pittsburgh or they play for LA, or they play, like, they don't know, because what happened was Brad was watching with Jacob, his son, right, my nephew, and they had, they had a moment of, they wanted to feel good. So I said, go watch the gold medal game 2010. Just go watch the end of it, the golden goal. Go watch that. And then Jakey didn't know that Sidney Crosby was Canadian, and then that's when he found out.
Yeah. And that's the cool, exactly. And you have that perspective. And another proud moment for me too. I like the way this is going, because it's all about patriotism. When Mike Myers on Saturday Night Live, the t-shirt was awesome. And then the elbows up. Like I've said that so many times now. And I think that's like, when you think Canadiana, that's Canadiana. Like Gordie Howe, elbows up. Gordie Howe from Floral, Saskatchewan, just outside of Saskatoon, elbows up for sure. And that's the way we go approach things. And I was so proud of Mike Myers at that moment. And proud that I've been a fan of Mike Myers since he was on SNL, and still am a fan, and I'm a huge fan of Mike Myers, and that just made me even more of a fan of Mike Myers.
Yeah, I agree. I've always appreciated everything that he's done. Him, Jim Carrey, like John Candy, like all the Canadian comedians, Dan Aykroyd. Like I think everybody that comes out of Canada, Martin Short, right. There's all of those guys really make me proud to be Canadian. Yeah. Right.
And for me, like, well, of course, where I work at the radio station, we have to play 40% Canadian, and anytime the Tragically Hip is on, crank it up. And like, could you imagine, and God rest his soul, if Gord Downey was around at this time?
Wow.
Exactly, right? Like, he'd be down there singing, like, he'd be talking to Trump. He'd be saying, like, what are you thinking, man? Like, why are you even thinking this? So, I love the flood of patriotism right now. And it's kind of interesting, because I'm going to relate it back to being from Saskatchewan. Like, I was telling Robin when we were there, I said, like, I've only lived in Saskatchewan my first 16 years.
Yeah.
But I'm always from Saskatchewan.
Oh, it sticks with you.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
It just sticks.
And I'm born and raised. Like I love being here in Drum, but
you said it before that our biggest export is potash, but it's not. It's the people. Like this. Like this. There's a lot of people that move away from Saskatchewan but are still from Saskatchewan.
Well,
right?
Yeah, we talked about it a number of times on the show, is that like the number one sports memorabilia team in Canada is the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Like, like I have everything.
In a province that has 1 million people,
constantly. It doesn't grow. It doesn't shrink. It's like 1 million people.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like Moose Jaw. Moose Jaw's been 35,000 people as long as I remember.
Yeah, that Chamber of Commerce sign, I don't think it's changed. They haven't had to change it. Right? People die and people move in.
That's it. It's just, welcome to Saskatchewan. 1 million people. That's it. That's all we need. 1 million. Yeah. And you don't want more than a million.
No.
No, there's tax benefits for only having a million. I'm sure.
Yeah, we send more to Quebec. Oh, did I say that out loud again? Oh, geez, I tell you.
Yeah.
But let's talk. We'll segment into some hockey now to continue our conversation and our Calgary Flames. So you and I talk Flames quite often because we call it Saskatchewan's other team. Because we can't cheer for those guys up north. But Dustin Wolf, it's been interesting because I watched Dustin play lots last year with the Wranglers. Because, of course, the farm team for the Flames is right here in Calgary. So I was watching this guy, and I said, this guy is the next guy. Like, he is going to be the next guy to lead this team. And, wow, like, he's been playing like I expected him to play, but surprising a lot of people in the NHL.
Yeah, even he surprised me because it's always about the size of the goaltender, and even when I watched him play a couple of games last season up in the bigs, he wasn't the best, but then he wasn't facing the same talent every day, so it was a little faster. He had to change his game, but wow, I mean he's been lights out. Great. There's no way for me that I would say anybody else gets Rookie of the Year because the team in front of him is not scoring.
No,
and
except for Jonathan Huberdeau right now.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
Yeah,
he's changed his game though, right? He plays both ways.
Yeah,
he's not just dishing the pass to the other team anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
It's better that way. I like it that he seems to have more success by not giving the puck up. I don't know how that works, but yeah.
Yeah, you just can't draw that shit up. Right?
But yeah, no, so do you think we make the playoffs is the question now. Do the Flames make it?
I mean, before the Vancouver game a few days ago and Saturday, I would have said yes. But I think that broke us a little bit. They didn't play well last night in Toronto. I didn't get to see it, but the score was not very good.
No.
And so, I think what I'm going to see now is those teams that are pushing for the playoffs that have the talent like Matthews and Marner on their rosters. Those teams are going to kick it up a notch, where Calgary's kind of been playing their best hockey all year. But I don't know that they have another notch.
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah. I think there's certain players that I think have another notch. Like I think Huberdeau actually has kicked it up another notch this year, and he might even have another step.
Kadri too.
Yeah, exactly. That line's been fantastic, and there's been a lot of great surprises for the Flames. Part of me wants them to be in the playoffs, like every year, of course. But part of me is also wanting a draft pick, and if we don't make it, it's okay. But the problem that I see is that we're going to be like the team that's just not making the playoffs. So then we're come the lottery, we're way down the bottom, and we'll get
we get
13th round pick of
the 13th pick. But and one thing that kind of would have changed our season, I believe, is that Anthony Mantha injury in the beginning. Because he's a dynamic player and he's got the size. It changes the whole concept of what Calgary is as a team. So I think, if we can get a decent pick this year, bring him back and have the same core, we're going to be really good next year.
I hope so. Yeah. I hope so. But I still hope we make the playoffs too. Because I watching the Flames in the playoffs is awesome.
It is like the best thing, besides the Four Nations Cup. Now that I watched that was pretty damn good.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah. I'm excited. And it'd be nice just to see Edmonton, Calgary first round, like that type thing is the best hockey you ever watch.
Yeah,
right. It's I need that rivalry back. Like I need it.
Yeah, I know, but Winnipeg. You know what? I'm going the other side of Saskatchewan now. I sure hope that the Jets can make something happen this year. You've got first throughout the season. You've got Connor Hellebuck, who's been excellent, except in the Four Nations Cup. And, and, I would so love the Jets to win the Cup. Like, Like,
Yes.
the Jets are like the Buffalo Bills of the NHL, right? Like, you want the Bills, like, the Bills should have been in the Super Bowl this year. Even as a Chiefs fan, I kind of wanted the Bills and the Lions to show up in the Super Bowl, and that would have been wow.
Oh, yeah, that would have been a great Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that would have been great.
Yeah, well, and for us that watched cable TV in Saskatchewan, that's exactly the teams we watched.
Yeah. Well, I think last time I talked to you, we talked about I had Detroit winning. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, right? It's like, oh, this can be so awesome, and then they lose to Washington.
I know exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. So the Jets, I so hope that they can get out of the West, and but the problem I see is it's going to be a Winnipeg Edmonton final potentially, or
Well, I seen some bad news for us, not bad news for hockey, but Landeskog for Colorado was skating again, and so that's a dynamic player that Colorado hasn't even used throughout the year,
and they're still really good,
and they're still really good. Yeah, so I think they're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Well, hey, we went all around the world today, man. This was good.
Yeah.
It's been too long, so I'm glad we were able to do this tonight, man.
Yeah, me too. It was good. I needed this. I just got back to my hotel room and was like, you know what? If Jason wants to do a podcast, I got to do a podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's good. It's good mentally for us. You know, as you can tell, I'm barely awake, but yeah, it's good for us. So it's a good thing. All right. Well, G, thanks for this, and we'll do it again soon. I promise we will.
Sounds good. We will. Yeah.
Well, that was almost better than the smell of a freshly harvested field after it rains, eh? Almost. This has been the Bunnyhug Podcast, hosted by Grant Dick and Jason Blank, with production assistance from Scott Mitchell. He's basically the 13th man. We pay him in Pilsner. Hey, who wrote this? Subscribe wherever you get your favorite podcasts, and search for the Bunnyhug Podcast on Facebook. Produced by Blankman Productions.